Hey guys, what's going on? So we're over here at Skeet Shop. I wasn't able to convert the videos from my iPhone onto Vegas so I could edit them. And so hopefully I'll be able to get that done later and you guys will be able to see the beginning of this build. But for now, I figured I would kind of give you guys an update on where I'm at, parts I've gotten, the car, the motor, my next step, some little projects I did along the way, some issues I ran into. So let's start off. So it's a 91 MR2 Turbo Gen 2. It had a Gen 3 swap in it that I kind of went back and forth for a while and deciding whether or not I wanted to build it, whether I need to rebuild it before I built it. But I ended up deciding to go with a 5S GTE. So for you that don't know what a 5S GTE is, it's essentially a Camry block with a 3S GTE head, the Camry block being for strength and a little bit more displacement. This engine is fully built. It made 696 horsepower and 590 foot-pounds of torque on its last setup, so I'm hoping that I can get that extra 4 horsepower to make it 700. It's a beautiful engine. I got it for about half the cost of building this from scratch. And so I kind of jumped on it after looking into and pricing out 5S GTE builds. So let's go over some parts that are going to go into the car. So we got a Borg Warner S363. I bought a twin scroll exhaust side for it since my exhaust manifold is that. Phoenix Power of Japan top mounts, exhaust manifold, which will have a Turbo Smart 45mm wastegate on there. So the rest are in my room here, which is kind of a parts room. TCS intake, Edelbrock Victor X intake manifold over there. That was custom built by the guy that I bought the engine from. ACT clutch, which I'm hoping is going to hold the power. Lightweight flywheel. It's going to be running off of an ECU Master EMU. Top mount fuel rail with 2000cc injectors. All the fixings for some big power. So one of the things I did so far is I cleaned my transmission. I went to Harbor Freight and got a media blaster gun for $20 and another $30 for some aluminum oxide media blaster, blasting media, I mean. And first I started out by hitting the transmission with some gunk and some water after taking everything off and plugging all the holes. And then I hit it with some media blaster. I recommend doing the media blaster somewhere where you don't have to worry about cleaning up the mess too much. It gets everywhere. And also wearing something that covers most of your body, it's like sand. But the transmission turned out really good. I'll show you guys a before and after pic of it. After the media blaster, I made sure everything was clean again by blowing it off with a hose, wiping things down with acetone. And then I hit it with a self-etching primer so that it would adhere better to the aluminum. And then I hit it with an aluminum gray. Unfortunately, the aluminum gray came out a little janky looking, like kind of cheap looking. And I don't really like it, but over the time of me putting it back in the car, my greasy hands touching it and stuff, it'll kind of dull up a little bit, so I don't think it'll be bad. So I'll show you guys the transmission here. All right, so there's the transmission there. As you can see, like I said, it's extremely bright and shiny, which I'm not a huge fan of. But it looks really good from where it came from, and I was able to clean the speed sensor, and I'll probably redo some other things on here. I've painted the brackets, and I got all these deals all cleaned off. I tried to clean the starter, which was not very successful, but I'll try to do something with that, maybe buy another one if it bothers me too much. So something else I did in the last couple of days was I polyurethaned my engine mounts. I've seen a couple of walkthroughs online of making complete polyurethane mounts, but there's one walkthrough online where you just fill the mounts with polyurethane, which is what I opted to do since my mounts weren't looking too horrible to begin with. So I just took some acetone and a toothbrush and got them really clean beforehand, and then I went and bought some liquid polyurethane Master McCar, and it's just black urethane. I taped the bottom of the mounts, mounted up against something so they were flat and level, and then just took a funnel and poured that polyurethane into the mounts evenly. So this is the finished product. I painted the rest of them, obviously. But it was black polyurethane to begin with. You can see the tape on this side. And this one. Alright guys, so that's where I'm at. Later this week, I'm hoping to get the tank back in with the relay all set up and some fuel lines ran. There's going to have to be some fabrication on my downpipe. The Borg Warner has a 4.21 exhaust side V-band, and I have a 3-inch downpipe, 3-inch V-band. And so that is going to have to be cut off, and then I'll have to get an adapter and adapt that back on. And then also my downpipe, the Camry, I believe, has a little bit larger of an oil pan than 3S, and so when the downpipe comes down, it's either going to kiss or it's going to barely clear the oil pan, and so I'm going to have to move the downpipe closer to the turbo a little bit so that I can install it easier, and it just makes everything made up properly. Other than that, I have some rear end stuff coming here this week or next week. I'm updating the CV joints, the the bearings, the tie rods, the axle seals. All that stuff's going to be coming, and so I have that ahead of me. I by no means am a professional car builder. This is my first Japanese import. This is my first performance car. I got out of dirt bikes about a year ago to get into something a little bit more safer that can give me the adrenaline rush. And since I'm the poster child for an ADD kid, it gives me something to focus my energy to. And so if you guys have tried something and it didn't work for you that I'm about to do, please comment below. If you have suggestions, please comment below. And if you like this content, please like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.